Zain Asher, who is the host of Marketplace Africa. I mean, Zain...
And a Nigerian myself.
A Nigerian yourself, which is important to note because all I had to do was a very quick check of Nigerians on social media, and they were entirely cynical about this, and they have reason to be, don't they?
I know. Listen, Paula, as a Nigerian myself, I would love to be optimistic. I'm the first person to tell you that I would actually love to have an airline in my country to be proud of, a national carrier to be proud of. However, you know, you talked about this. When you look at the history, when you look at the number of airlines, both private and public, that have failed in our country, there is a cycle of failure. So it's all well and good for the minister to sort of get on stage and announce in front of the media that there's going to be this massive new airline. But if you don't address some of the underlying issues that have brought us to failure in the first place, it's all going to end in tears.
And I want to deal with that one issue, which he mentioned. He said governance, but it's clear and utter corruption, right? What's the problem?
Yeah, well, it's governance, it's mismanagement, it's poor leadership, it is nepotism, but there's also issues when it comes to the passengers' experience as well, because it's not just about being able to make ends meet, it's also about having the airline being able to thrive. The last time I was in Nigeria, just last year, I was traveling from Lagos back to America. My flight was delayed 3 hours because I got to the airport and there was literally no electricity. So the entire airport was basically pitch black, and they had to look at my passport, check my passport using flashlights. Sometimes they do it with the light from the mobile phone. Sometimes flights are delayed because pilots just don't show up to work on time and there's no consequence. Sometimes flights are delayed because literally there's not enough passengers, so they delay the flight, hoping and praying there'll be more passengers that show up to the airport. And, you know, and sometimes they will combine two different flights going to two different destinations into the same flight and then just drop people off along the way like an Uber pool.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm not even joking. Like
I know that you're not. I know.
So it's not just about the financial aspects of it, obviously the debt, the foreign exchange issues. It's also about infrastructure. It's also about cultural issues as well. And so Nigerians really have to put their foot down and say, listen, we will not accept this type of service in our airline any longer.
Okay, now one thing that has been talked about is the fact that the government is on the front foot here. Now, I asked the aviation minister, I said, where are the private investors? Because everybody would have more confidence.
Listen,
do you think that this has something more to do with political timing? And
honestly, oh my gosh, I don't want to be pessimistic because it's my country and I love my country so much. I don't want to be pessimistic, but people have been saying that, you know, you can question the timing of all of this because it's launching in December, 2 months before a national election. And you look at it and you ask yourself, well, who are the sort of private investors? Number one, is it already a registered entity? Does it already have a license to operate? Where are the offices going to be? Have they started recruitment? There's not even a website. There's not even a website or a domain address for this airline.
And they say they're launching in December.
Exactly. And that's, what is that, 5 months? 5 months from now? So I don't know. I don't want to be pessimistic, though, because I really, really want this airline to succeed.
Quickly, before we go, and I know this is totally imbued with a lot of politics as well, but Ethiopian Airlines has had a lot of luck, a lot of great management, and they really are basically challenging what it means to be an African airline, especially with some of the hub activity that they've taken into Addis Ababa. Does that give you hope?
Well, when you look at Ethiopia Airlines, it is entirely sort of government-owned, but it's private-run. And when I ask people, listen, well, you know, you mentioned all these issues plaguing Nigeria, but Ethiopian Airlines has done so well. Why is that?
Right.
People just talk about leadership. They talk about leadership. Nigeria, unfortunately, has a massive problem when it comes to corruption. When it comes to, I mean, small things like anybody who is associated with the government or knows a government minister automatically thinks that they should be able to fly for free. Always. And obviously that's not going to ruin an airline. It's not big enough to ruin an airline.
But it's not good for business.
But it's not good for business. And so you have to look at Ethiopia Airlines as a role model just in terms of leadership and management.
Got you. Zain, I know you will be the first one at this desk, either anchoring or reporting, to say, go Nigeria Air.
I love my country and I want it to succeed, and I really want to emphasize that. So.
Good. And you'll be here if that happens, and here as well if it doesn't. So.